President Kenyatta said largely 90% of the country is calm, is peaceful, is voting. My piece over the weekend was entitled Finding the Path Back to Political Equilibrium. President Kenyatta has won more than 97% of votes counted so far, according to the media. Turnout has been estimated to be around between 35 to 40%. Deputy President William Ruto sought to wield the political guillotine and tweeted, "Evidently, it doesn't matter how powerful, popular one or their party imagines to be, the repeat elections confirm that people are supreme. I, for one, believe that the President won the first iteration of the election and that the Supreme Court, while striking a blow for transparency and constitutionality, failed entirely to weigh the consequences of their decision and to provide a roadmap. However, what is clear is that we have now been overtaken by events and that the current political situation is best described as one of disequilibrium. Finding the path back to political equilibrium, a state in which opposing forces or influences are balanced, the maintenance of social equilibrium, synonyms, balance, symmetry, equipoise, parity, equality, stability, the equilibrium of the economy, antonyms are imbalance, I stumbled over a rock and recovered my equilibrium, is now the central question and in fact a sine qua non for the economy, which has slowed dramatically and where we need to absolutely avoid cliff edge effects. KEPSA said that the 4-month electioneering period had cost the country $7 billion in losses. Investors at the NSC have lost $2.27 billion over the past 4 weeks. We are growing at the slowest pace in 6 years. Anecdotal evidence is speaking to an average 25 to 30% haircut on year-on-year turnover across Kenya Inc. Economic indicators are blinking amber. I came across this comment from Eric Chitai, a security guard in Kisumu, in a magnific Reuters report. People from this region are feeling isolated from the rest of the country. We are feeling disconnected. In his marvelous book, The Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell talks about 3 different archetypes of people: mavens, connectors, and salespeople. The connectors, according to Malcolm Gladwell, make change happen through people. They galvanize people, they're natural hubs, they're just the way they're orientated toward the world. President Kenyatta is a mercurial and popular politician. I recall a quote from someone speaking about President Clinton, who described meeting him thus: President Clinton locked onto you and made you feel like you were the only person in the room. President Kenyatta has a similar political style and charisma. He will be the president of Kenya, a nation of more than 40 million citizens. The political reality, and in fact his legacy, is now going to be calibrated on how he reconnects people like Eric Chitai. Everyone is a shareholder in this Kenya Inc. enterprise, or as Marshall McLuhan once said, there are no passengers on spaceship Earth, read Kenya, we are all crew. This, in my view, is a political imperative, the reconnection of 40 million Kenyans to spaceship Kenya, without which we're going to continue sputtering. Raila Odinga called for calm in Kawangware, which was hit by deadly violence over the weekend. The Economist is calling our fresh election preposterously flawed. When Mr. Odinga withdrew, it seemed like a last roll of the dice. Although the IEBC made plenty of errors in the tallying and transmission of votes, there is little proof that the election in August was rigged, as Mr. Odinga claims. Short of the cash needed to continue campaigning, Mr. Odinga's boycott seems to have been a desperate attempt to avoid an election he would probably have lost anyway, which is what I was saying before. People don't care who wins, Winamo said in an interview at the Gatina Pentecostal Assemblies of God Church in Kawangware. All they want is a united Kenya. Most of the people are suffering. They are skipping meals. There is a lot of poverty and sickness, he said. The turmoil has weighed on investors, with the NSC dropping 5.5% since the election outcome was declared void on September the 1st. Government's bonds, 2024 maturity, climbed 30 basis points to 6.32%. As Hervé pointed out to me, the precursor of the NASA coalition's national resistance movement is, of course, President Museveni. The opposition, of course, blocked elections in a number of key constituencies. Government's revenue has fallen short by 51 billion shillings. That's a big hit in the first 3 months of the current financial year. This is what I was talking about, linking amber. Kenya is the great hope for investors in Africa as a non-commodity producing country, which has the potential to industrialize ahead of its peers, with money going into the railways, roads and ports, and Daniel Salter, head of equity strategy at Renaissance Capital. It is a country that investors want to like, but what they don't like is the current uncertainty. Coca-Cola is to invest up to $90 million in Kenya to broaden its product range. That's good news. KCB Group has secured a $100 million loan from the AFDB for onward lending to small and medium-sized enterprises. KCB is up 47.82% on a total return basis this year. Kenya shilling at 103.80. Nairobi all share up 19.9% year to date. I expect it to trend higher. I like this. Wake-up calls for an early morning game drive may not be very pleasant, but such views make them all the more worthwhile. Serena Sweetwaters, NSE 20 is up 14.5% year to date. And let me leave you with this: a fisherman and his dam from Kesh and Thamba. Once again, thank you kindly for stopping by.